Every time Mexican authorities launched an operation, highways went up in flames, traffic froze, cities stopped breathing. And behind those scenes of chaos was a man who almost never appeared in public. No interviews, no social media presence, no public speeches. Just a name whispered inside security briefings. El Mencho. For more than a decade, he led one of the most powerful criminal organizations in Mexico, Cártel Jalisco Nueva Generación. The United States placed a $10 million bounty on his capture. Mexico offered millions of pesos. Yet for years, he vanished every time the net tightened. Tonight, we break down the rise, the power, and the final fall of Mexico's most feared cartel leaders. You're watching Shadow Dossier. To understand how this story began, we have to go back to 2010.
Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes was born in 1966 in Michoacán. Rural poverty, limited opportunity. Migration was the dream of an entire generation. He crossed into the United States as a young man. He was arrested for small-scale drug trafficking. He served time, and he was deported. But that period gave him one crucial understanding. The real money was north of the border. And to reach that money, you had to control the route. Not through speeches, but through structure.
The Milenio Cartel weakens after major arrests. Jalisco becomes contested ground. Rival factions fight for territory. Violence spreads. In moments like this, there are two kinds of people: those who want attention and those who want control. El Mencho chooses control. He regroups remnants, finds loyal operators, reconnects old networks. CJNG begins to form, quietly but with order. In 2011, CJNG starts appearing more publicly. Messages circulate online. They claim to be cleansing rivals, but the real goal is consolidation of power. What sets CJNG apart at this stage? They are not just selling product, they are building an organized force. Armed groups structured with discipline, more coordinated, more strategic. 2011, CJNG focuses on one objective: hold Jalisco. Jalisco is a logistical hub, key routes, strategic access points. From here, layers of protection are built: road lookouts, signal relays, transport coordinators, financial handlers. El Mencho remains rarely seen, but his influence becomes undeniable. 2015. Clashes with federal forces increase. CJNG demonstrates something new. They are willing to retaliate. Not just evade, not just hide, but strike back. For the government, this is a turning line. When a cartel is willing to confront the state directly, it is no longer just organized crime. It becomes a national security threat. 2014, CJNG accelerates, not only holding Jalisco, but expanding into other strategic states. They do not expand slowly. They expand decisively. Take territory, secure routes, install regional commanders. At this point, El Mencho becomes an internal symbol, the man who built momentum. 2015, a military helicopter is brought down during a confrontation in Jalisco. For the public, it is breaking news. For security officials, it is a warning. CJNG possesses structured firepower, organization, intent. That same year, the United States escalates pressure. El Mencho is sanctioned under the Kingpin Act. A reward of up to $10 million is offered for information leading to his capture or conviction. From this point forward, he is not just Mexico's target. He becomes an international priority. 2016, CJNG turns disruption into strategy. During security operations, reports emerge of vehicles burned, roads blocked, highways shut down. Not for spectacle, but to create friction, to slow response time, to exhaust enforcement. It is a form of psychological warfare. You do not need to win every battle. You only need to make the system tired. 2017. CJNG is reported active in numerous states. Power is no longer measured only in weapons. It is measured in logistics, finance, relationships, replaceable personnel. The less El Mencho appears publicly, the harder he is to track. His invisibility strengthens the myth.
Authorities target mid-level commanders. Some are arrested, some routes are disrupted. Yet CJNG continues operating because its structure does not depend on one operational chain. It is layered, like a corporation of crime. One leader falls, another rises. One route closes, another opens. One territory weakens, another is contested. 2019, a strike that hits close to home. El Menchito, El Mencho's son, is arrested and later extradited to the United States, according to widely reported accounts. In cartel structures, succession is survival. When the expected heir is removed from the board, two things begin to happen. Internal confidence weakens, and regional ambition grows. From this point forward, CJNG remains powerful, but the seed of internal tension is planted. COVID disrupts the world. Supply chains fracture. Borders tighten. But disruption can also mean opportunity. Synthetic drugs remain a priority because production is scalable and distribution can adjust. CJNG adapts quickly. Operations do not stop, and El Mencho remains out of sight. 2021. Territorial disputes continue. Rival groups challenge influence in key areas. But publicly, CJNG projects stability. Because unity is power. If internal division becomes visible, rivals move in. El Mencho understands this dynamic. Control is not only about weapons. It is about maintaining the image of cohesion. International intensifies, particularly around fentanyl trafficking. Intelligence cooperation deepens. Financial monitoring becomes central. Because capturing a figure like El Mencho is rarely achieved through force alone. It requires money trails, movement patterns, communication links. The net does not close with sirens. It closes with data. El Mencho becomes a symbol, untouchable. In criminal hierarchies, myth carries weight. It sustains loyalty. It enforces discipline. It amplifies fear. But the larger the myth grows, the more powerful the shock when it breaks. Certain regional commanders grow stronger. Outwardly, unity remains intact. Internally, questions emerge. If he disappears, who steps forward? In cartel structures, that question is fuel. And in 2024, the fuel begins to heat. 2025. Surveillance becomes quieter, more precise, more patient. Not large-scale spectacle, but narrowing focus. From finances to movement to safe locations. The gap between authorities and their target
shrinks steadily. A gated property in a forested resort area. Private residence. Minimal visibility. Carefully chosen. Weeks of monitoring. Early morning. No sirens. No flashing lights. Perimeter secured quietly. Inside the property, routine breaks. Lights activate. According to reporting, El Mencho attempts to move toward the rear of the residence, toward the wooded terrain beyond. In previous years, terrain often meant escape. This time, there is no opening. Gunfire interrupts the silence. Brief. Decisive. Not a prolonged battle, but the end of a pursuit that lasted more than a decade. Verification follows, and the confirmation is delivered clinically. The target has been neutralized.
News spreads. Reports emerge of vehicles burned, roads temporarily blocked, localized tension. But something stands out. There is no central statement, no public declaration, no visible successor stepping forward, only reaction. And then, silence. In cartel dynamics, silence often signals restructuring.
El Mencho's death does not create emptiness. It creates competition. Because CJNG was never structured as a single chain of command. It is layered. Regional commanders controlling territory. Transport cells securing routes. Financial units maintaining cash flow. Operational groups sustaining fear. When the figure at the center disappears, the machine does not stop, but it shifts. The most critical loss is not manpower. It is symbolism.
From 2010 to 2026. One man became a symbol of power. But symbols fade. Structures adapt. And in the shadows of Jalisco, a new chapter is already unfolding. You're watching Shadow Dossier.